Here at Squiz Kids, you probably know that we're on something of a media literacy crusade. Our Newshounds classroom resource teaches kids how to think critically about the flood of information they're exposed to each day online. It teaches them how to spot misinformation and separate online fact from fiction. Since launch, more than 4,000 primary school teachers around the country have signed up to do Newshounds with their classes. Because it's free, because it's fun, because it's curriculum aligned, and because it works. But unless we get government funding to continue Newshounds, we may have to shut it down. With the federal election looming, we need your help. If you think digital and media literacy is an important life skill our kids should be learning at school, sign our petition at change.org. The link is in the episode notes, or you can find it on our website squizkids.com.au. Send a message to Canberra. Help us help the next generation.
Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Kombumerri people.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Monday, March 17. In Squiz Kids Today, slip and slide at Aussie Grand Prix. Rivers turn green for St Patrick's Day. Fisherman survives 3 months at sea, and Gout Gout does it again. That's what's making news, kids style.
The Lowdown.
Victory at the Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne slipped through the fingers of Aussie driver Oscar Piastri yesterday, as a rainy day created a wet and slippery track that saw Formula One cars sliding all over the place. Piastri, who grew up in Melbourne, was hoping to win the first race of the 2025 F1 season in front of a home crowd, but some very Melbourne weather put those plans into the pit stop. At the end of the day, it was Piastri's teammate Lando Norris who won the race, just managing to hold off the Flying Dutchman and 4-time world champ Max Verstappen, who came in second. It may have been raining in Melbourne, all over the Grand Prix, but up the road in Sydney, the city was sweltering in 38-degree temperatures, before a cool change sent the mercury plummeting 15 degrees back into the early 20s. Weather whiplash, anyone? Melbourne and Adelaide also had their fair share of heat over the weekend, with temperatures of more than 35 degrees recorded in Melbourne's western suburbs on Saturday, and Adelaide reaching almost 40 degrees over the weekend. And soon enough it will be winter, and we'll all be complaining about how cold it is.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Chicago, in the United States, where the Chicago River has been dyed green to celebrate St Patrick's Day. Now, if you have Irish heritage, meaning your ancestors came from Ireland, you might already know about St Patrick's Day. March 17, which is today, is St Pat's Day, commemorating the patron saint of Ireland, St Patrick. All over the world, Irish people, and people who love Irish people, and people who love Guinness beer get together, and there are street parades and music played, and everyone wears green. So, why green? Because Ireland is also known as the Emerald Isle, because it rains a lot and it's so lush and green there. But also, according to legend, wearing green makes you invisible to leprechauns, who are little Irish mythological creatures, meaning, probably not real, naughty little red-bearded fairies who love to sneak around pinching people. According to legend, wearing green makes you invisible to leprechauns and means you don't get pinched.
Sport time!
Brisbane sprint sensation and the fastest kid in the country, Gout Gout, has gone and done it again over the weekend. The 17-year-old runner from Ipswich in Queensland blew away the rest of the field at the Queensland Athletic Championships in Brizzy on Saturday, running 100 metres in only 10.38 seconds. And get this, the current men's 100-metre world record is 9.58 seconds, set by the incredible Usain Bolt back in 2009. That means Gout was only 0.8 of a second off the world record that has stood for 16 years. 0.8 of a second, not even a whole second. Unbelievable. Gout Gout, you've gone and done it again.
Believe it or not.
A fisherman from Peru in South America has survived 95 days at sea, eating sea turtles, birds, and get this, cockroaches. Maximo Castro set off on a fishing trip with 2 weeks' worth of food, but when he got caught in a storm and was blown off course, he ended up drifting out in the ocean for 3 whole months. He was spotted finally by a passing naval ship, rescued and reunited with his family at the weekend, not having eaten or drank fresh water for days and days. Miraculously, he's okay now, and he's even talking about returning to the sea to go fishing again as soon as he can. Maybe I'd be looking for a job on land if it were me.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. From which country was the fisherman lost at sea for 3 months? Did you say Peru? Well done. Question number 2. How many seconds did it take Gout Gout to run the 100 metres in Brisbane on Saturday? That's a tough one, isn't it? It was 10.38 seconds. Question number 3. In Ireland, what do they call the mischievous little fairy who likes to pinch people? Yeah, that's right, they call them leprechauns.
Shout outs.
It's Monday, March 17. Today is St. Patrick's Day, as we've already discussed. Plus, today is the start of Harmony Week. Maybe you're celebrating Harmony Week in your school. Today is also a special day for these Squiz kids celebrating a birthday today and tomorrow. Willow from the Gold Coast, Ellie and Sophie from Wellington Point, Audrey from Naremburn, Julian from Holsworthy, Alicia from Yuki, Evie from Belmont, Elwood from Bulleen, Marco from Cheltenham, and Finlay, who's listening all the way over there in Christchurch in New Zealand. And belated birthday shout-outs go to Sahara from Jerilderie and Hamish from Bangalore. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 4 RI and Miss Iadema at Redlands College. Classes 4 Blue and 4 Gold with Mr Hayes and Mr DeBurker at Macaulay Catholic Primary School in Rose Bay. Class 6C with Mrs Braun and Mrs Crow at St Peter Julian Imard Primary School in Marulbach. Class 5-6C with Miss TL at Wombai State School. And Class 6B with Mrs Heber at Roxburgh Rise Primary School. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you're after a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow with a special Squiz Kids shortcut on Ned Kelly, one of Australia's most famous bushrangers. It's really good. You don't want to miss it. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.